I stopped running toward what was already walking to me. I laid down the armor, turns out I never needed it. I am not lucky, I am recognized. Every door that closed was the universe editing my story. The woman I became didn't have to announce herself. Life felt the shift before I could name it. Something settled in my chest and suddenly everything that was mine started arriving. Life keeps choosing me. Life keeps choosing me. Je n'ai rien forcé and still everything came. Life keeps choosing me. Life keeps choosing me. I am the woman the universe knows by name. I see it now, the timing was never against me. Every delay was a detail being perfected. The love I have, the peace I live in, was being built while I was learning to trust. I wake up inside the life I used to visualize, and nothing about it feels like coincidence. Oh, life keeps choosing me. Life keeps choosing me. Je n'ai rien forcé and still everything came. Life keeps choosing me. Life keeps choosing me. I am the woman the universe knows by name. There was a version of me that begged for what I now receive as normal. There was a version of me that couldn't imagine this being real. I stepped into the woman who was already chosen, and I never looked back, never looked back. Life keeps choosing me. Life keeps choosing me. Je n'ai rien forcé and still everything came. Life keeps choosing me. Life keeps choosing me. I am the woman the universe knows by name. Chosen, recognized. Everything meant for me is already on its way. I receive, I trust, I am. There were seasons it felt like the universe went quiet, like everything had moved on without me. But life doesn't forget women like me. It was just preparing the ground. I've been through the silence that feels like abandonment, the waiting there looks like failure from the outside. But something in me never stopped believing that what was mine was still being assembled. Every prayer I whispered into the dark was being answered in a language I hadn't learned, yet I see it now. The dots were always connecting, even when I couldn't see the picture. Life didn't forget me. Life didn't forget me. Ce n'était pas un oubli, c'était une préparation. Life didn't forget me. Life didn't forget me. Everything delayed was being perfected for me. I look at where I stand today, and I understand every detour, every door that wouldn't open was protecting me from a room I didn't belong in. The woman I am now needed every single lesson. I wouldn't trade the wilderness for anything, because the wilderness made me unshakable, and unshakable when receive everything. Life didn't forget me. Life didn't forget me. Ce n'était pas un oubli, c'était une préparation. Life didn't forget me. Life didn't forget me. Everything delayed was being perfected for me. If you're in the waiting right now, know that the universe is not moved on. It is building something so specific to you that it takes time to get right. You have not been forgotten. You have been chosen for something that required preparation. Trust the silence, trust the season. Life didn't forget me. Life didn't forget me. Ce n'était pas un oubli, c'était une préparation. Life didn't forget me. Life didn't forget me. Everything delayed was being perfected for me. Prepared, remembered, chosen. The silence was never abandonment, it was devotion. I trust the process, I always did. They told me softness was a liability, that the world only rewards armor. But I've watched my gentleness open doors that force could never unlock. I am soft and I am powerful, these are not opposites. I am tender and I am unbreakable, both are true. My softness is not naivety, it is a choice I make every single day. I don't harden myself against the world, I let the world soften itself around me. That is a different kind of strength, one they didn't teach us about. Softness is my superpower, my precision, my douceur in my force, and it moves mountains. Softness is my superpower, my decision. The gentlest women I know have changed everything. I receive with open hands, not grasping, not gripping. I love without losing myself in the giving. I set boundaries without raising my voice, because my peace is louder than any argument. The woman who knows her softness is sacred, doesn't let the world harden what God made gentle. She protects her tenderness like currency, because it is the rarest thing she owns. Softness is my superpower, my precision, my douceur and my force, and it moves mountains. Softness is my superpower, my decision. The gentlest women I know have changed everything. In a world addicted to hardness. My softness is radical in a world that rewards armor. My openness is revolutionary. I choose it every morning, every day. Softness on purpose. Softness is my superpower, my precision, my douceur and my force, and it moves mountains. Softness is my superpower, my decision, the gentlest women I owe have changed everything. Gentle, powerful, open. Softness was never weakness. It was always the most courageous thing about me. I didn't make a post about it. I didn't need a witness. I just woke up one morning and decided that version of me was done. No announcement, no explanation, just a woman walking differently. And the world caught up eventually, like it always does. My standards stopped feeling like walls. They became the foundation. I changed quietly, and the world noticed loudly. Je me suis transformé en silence, and nothing was ever the same. I changed quietly, and the world noticed loudly. The woman I became was worth the wait. The right people found me in my new frequency. The wrong ones faded like they were never really there. I don't explain my evolution anymore. It speaks in the way I move and what I allow. In the softness I wear like armor. In the life I built without permission. No, I changed quietly, and the world noticed loudly. Je me suis transformé en silence, and nothing was ever the same. Yeah, yeah. I changed quietly, and the world noticed loudly. The woman I became was worth the wait. They didn't see the nights I rebuilt myself from scratch. They didn't see the prayers, the tears, the decision to rise. But they see me now, and that is enough. That has always been enough. I changed quietly, and the world noticed loudly. Je me suis transformé en silence, and nothing was ever the same. I changed quietly, and the world is loudly. The woman I became was worth the wait. Transformed, undeniable, already done. The becoming happened, the life confirmed it. I trust what I've become. The gap between where I was and where I knew I was going was the loneliest place I've ever lived, and the most necessary. I've been in the in-between, when the old life no longer fits and the new one hasn't fully materialized. That space is uncomfortable, but it is sacred. I didn't always handle the gap with grace. Some days I panicked, some days I questioned everything. Some days I almost went back to what I'd outgrown, but I trusted the gap, I stayed in the gap. J'ai fait confiance au vide and it carried me through. I trusted the gap, I lived in the gap. The woman I became was built in that space. The gap is where the old identity dissolves, where you start being who you were and start becoming who you always were underneath. It is the most honest place you will ever stand. I learned to sit in uncertainty without collapsing, to hold the vision without grasping, to believe in the destination without seeing the path. That is not faith, that is knowing, but I trusted the gap, I stayed in the gap. J'ai fait confiance au vide and it carried me through. I trusted the gap, I lived in the gap. The woman I became was built in that space. If you're in the gap right now, if everything feels unfinished and undefined, you are not lost, you are in transition. The discomfort is not a sign to go back. It is a sign you are close. Stay, trust, become, but I trusted the gap, I stayed in the gap. J'ai fait confiance au vide and it carried me through. I trusted the gap, I lived in the gap. The woman I became was built in that space. Trusting, becoming, arriving. The gap was never empty, it was full of everything I was becoming. Nobody saw the version of me that sat in the dark and decided anyway. The reinvention happened in rooms nobody entered. What's built in private can't be taken by public opinion. Saw the mornings I chose myself before I even believed I was worth choosing. What's forged in silence carries a different weight. I know what I survived, I know who I am now, and that knowledge lives in my bones. My becoming happened in private, my transformation witnessed only by God and me. My becoming happened in private, and my blessings arrived publicly. Assembled in the quiet, in the letting go, nobody applauded. In the boundaries, nobody understood at the time. In the faith I held when evidence said otherwise, I stopped performing my healing. I went inward and stayed there until I was ready to emerge as something undeniable. My becoming happened in private. My transformation witnessed only by God and me. My becoming happened in private, and my blessings arrived publicly. Some women need an audience to become. I needed solitude. Some women need validation to move forward. I needed truth, and in that truth, in that silence, I found the version of me that life couldn't ignore. My becoming happened in private. My transformation witnessed only by God and me. My becoming happened in private, and my blessings arrived publicly. Forged, private, undeniable. No one had to see it for it to be real. I know, and that is enough. For years I believed worth was something to be earned, demonstrated through achievement, proven through sacrifice, validated through someone else's approval. I was wrong. I was worthy before I accomplished anything, before the success, before the glow up, before I figured out how to present myself, before I learned to speak the language of confidence. I was worthy in the struggle, I was worthy in the confusion, I was worthy on the days I couldn't get out of bed, and on the days I couldn't stop crying. I was worth it before I proved it, before I earned it. J'avais de la valeur avant de le comprendre. It was always true. Oh, I was worth it before I proved it. Innate, unconditional. My worth was never something I had to become. The validation I was seeking from outside was already living inside me. This place, the love I was begging others to give, was the love I hadn't yet learned to give myself. The moment I stopped performing for worth and started receiving it as a birthright, everything changed, not because I changed, but because I finally saw what was always there. I was worth it before I proved it, before I earned it. J'avais de la valeur avant de le comprendre. It was always true. Oh, I was worth it before I proved it. Innate, unconditional. My worth was never something I had to become. To the woman who is still performing, still achieving to feel enough, still waiting for the success that will finally make her worthy. I need you to hear this. You are already worthy right now. I used to let everything disturb me. Opinions, timelines, other people's chaos. Until peace became my highest priority, and I protected it like the asset it is. I don't argue anymore, I distance. I don't explain anymore, I decide. I don't justify my boundaries to the people they're designed to stop. My peace is not up for debate. I've curated my environment with intention. The voices I allow, the energy I absorb, the spaces I occupy, the relationships I invest in, all filtered through one question: does this protect my peace? My peace is non-negotiable. It's my foundation. Ma paix n'est pas à vendre, not for love, not for belonging. My peace is non-negotiable. My daily decision. Everything I allow into my life must pass through it first. I release people I love because the cost was my peace. I've left rooms that were full because they were draining me empty. I've chosen solitude over company that disturbs my frequency. And every single time I chose correctly. Peace is not the absence of difficulty. It is the presence of a woman who knows how to return to herself. No matter what happens outside, the interior stays undisturbed. My peace is non-negotiable. It's my foundation. Ma paix n'est pas à vendre, not for love, not for belonging. My peace is non-negotiable. My daily decision. Everything I allow into my life must pass through it first. Some people will call it coldness. Some will call it unavailability. Some will say you've changed. Let them. A woman in her peace is the most powerful version of herself, and she doesn't owe anyone access to what she's built. Protect it, guard it, choose it every single day. My peace is non-negotiable. It's my foundation. Ma paix n'est pas à vendre, not for love, not for belonging. My peace is non-negotiable. My daily decision. Everything I allow into my life must pass through it first. Peaceful, protected, whole. Nothing enters this space that doesn't deserve to be here. I stopped searching and started trusting that what is meant for me already knows where I live, already knows how to find me. The right love has my address. It doesn't need me to leave my door open with desperation. It knows the way it always has. I just needed to stop moving so it could arrive. The right abundance heavens has my address. It doesn't need me to hustle myself into the ground. It is already in transit toward the woman I've become. I just needed to become her fully. The right things are my address. They know where I am. Ce qui est pour moi me trouve. I don't need a chase. The right things are my address. They're already en route. I trust the delivery. I trust the timing. I trust. I've stopped redirecting my energy toward what isn't moving toward me. I've started knocking on doors that stay closed. I've stopped pouring into connections that don't pour back, because what's truly mine doesn't require that effort. It defines me in my peace. It defines me in my alignment. It defines me when I'm being exactly who I am, not performing, just being. The right things are my address. They know where I am. Ce qui est pour moi me trouve. I don't need to chase. The right things are my address. They're already en route. I trust the delivery. I trust the timing. I trust. Everything that's left my life lately was making room for something better. Trust to me. Every ending was a postal redirection. Every loss was space being cleared for the arrival of what was always mine. It's on its way. It always was. The right things in my address. They know where I am. Ce qui est pour moi me trouve. I don't need to chase. The right things in my address. They're already en route. I trust the delivery. I trust the timing. I trust. I trust en route. Arriving. I don't need to go looking. What's mine already knows where I am. I spent years trying to become something, not realizing I was already radiating it. I was the frequency the whole time. I just hadn't tuned in yet. The love I wanted to attract was the love I had stopped giving myself. The abundance I was visualizing was already in the way I moved through a room. I stopped treating myself like a project to complete, a woman to fix, a life to earn. I am not a goal, I am a frequency. Je ne cherche pas à devenir, I already am. I am a frequency. Everything matching me is already on its way. The universe confirms I've stopped waiting to feel worthy. I decided and the world adjusted. cherche pas à devenir. I already am. I am a frequency. Everything matching me is already on its way. The version of you that has everything. She's not in the future. She is the frequency you choose right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. I am now. I am a frequency. Je ne cherche pas à devenir. I already am. I am a frequency. Everything matching me is already on its way. Complete hope radiating. I don't become I am. And what is mine knows where to find me. I spent years fighting for things, holding on with both hands to what kept slipping, until I understood what's truly mine never require that kind of effort. What is destined for me doesn't need to be forced. It doesn't need to be begged for, chased or convinced. It simply needs me to be ready. And readiness looks like peace, not urgency. I've stopped white-knuckling my blessings. I've stopped wrestling with what was already written. I open my hands and let the right things land, and let the wrong things reveal themselves by leaving. What's mine doesn't need me to fight for it. Ce qui est à moi vient à moi, naturally, divinely. What's mine doesn't need me to fight for it. I receive in peace what was always meant for me. The love I have now, I never had to convince it. The abundance I live in, I never had to force it. The peace I carry, I never had to earn it. I just had to become the woman who expected it. There's a version of receiving that feels like grace, like the universe finally handing you what it was holding. I live in that version now, and I will never go back to the fighting. What's mine doesn't need me to fight for it. Ce qui est à moi vient à moi, naturally, divinely. What's mine doesn't need me to fight for it. I receive in peace what was always meant for me. Let it go if you're fighting for it. If it requires you to beg, it's not yours yet. If it requires you to shrink, it was never yours. What is truly yours will feel coming home. Not like a battle you keep losing. Trust the ease, trust the flow, trust what arrives without a what's mine doesn't need me to fight for it. Ce qui est à moi vient à moi, naturally, divinely. Naturally divine. What's mine doesn't need me to fight for it. I receive in peace what was always meant for me. Ease, grace, receive. No more fighting for what was always mine. I open my hands, I trust, I receive. Everyone around me was moving fast, performing, hustling, announcing. I went still, and everything I needed found its way to me. I opted out of the race, nobody told me I didn't have to run. I chose stillness when the world said accelerate. Not because I had given up, but because I had finally understood. Speed is not the same as progress. Noise is not the same as power. Busy is not the same as productive, and exhaustion is not a trophy I want to wear. Stillness was my strategy, my secret weapon. Mon silence, c'était mon mouvement, my most powerful act. Stillness was my strategy, my intentional decision. I move less and receive more than I ever had. In the stillness I heard what I couldn't hear in the noise, what I actually wanted versus what I've been conditioned to chase. In the stillness I met the version of me that had been waiting patiently underneath the performance. I stopped producing and started receiving. I stopped announcing and started becoming. I stopped rushing toward the life I wanted and let the life I wanted rush toward me. Stillness was my strategy, my secret weapon. My silence, sitting on movement, my most powerful act. Stillness was my strategy, my intentional decision. I move less and receive more than I ever had. The world would tell you to do more, push harder, show up louder, be more visible. But there is a woman who knows that her stillness is the most magnetic thing about her, that her quiet is a kind of power, that her patience is a form of faith. Be that woman, I am that woman. Stillness was my strategy, my secret weapon. On silence, c'était mon mouvement, my most powerful act. Stillness was my strategy, my intentional decision. I move less and receive more than I ever had. I used to run after things that were already mine. The day I stopped, everything accelerated. I am not available for desperate energy anymore. Exhausting myself, chasing what was circling back anyway. I know what I am and what I carry, and I let that do the work. I walk in knowing, I sit down knowing, I leave knowing. Not in pursuit, I'm in position. Ce que je veux me cherche, I don't chase what's mine. Not in pursuit, I'm in position. Still magnetic and completely aligned. The opportunities arrive like they have my address. The love I receive matches the love I hold for myself. I am a woman who has decided, and that decision alone rearranges the room. Nothing about me needs to compete. Nothing about me needs to prove. Not in pursuit, I'm in position. C'est que je veux me cherche, I don't chase what's mine. Not in pursuit, I'm in position. Still magnetic and completely aligned. Stillness is not passivity. It is the most powerful thing a woman can practice. To know so deeply that you don't need to move. To trust so completely that you can just be. That is where I live. Not in pursuit, I'm in position. Ce que je veux me cherche, I don't chase what's mine. Not in pursuit, I'm in position. Still magnetic and completely aligned. Position, magnetic, already there. I don't chase, I don't beg, I don't force. I simply am, and that is everything. Before I say a word, before I take a seat, something about me has already rearranged the room. That's not ego, that's frequency. I walk in and something shifts, not because I demand attention, but because aligned energy is impossible to ignore. I've stopped apologizing for that. I know what I carry, I know what I emit, and I've learned to let it do the work before I even open my mouth. My energy arrived before I did. Mon énergie parle avant moi, in rooms rearranged. My energy arrived before I did. I don't introduce myself, I'm already known. The right opportunity sense me coming. The right people feel the resonance before we speak. I am not performing presence, I am simply present, and that is everything. I used to dim this to make others comfortable. I used to shrink the signal to fit the room. Now I let it expand to its full size and watch the room expand around it. My energy arrived before I did. Mon énergie parle avant moi, and rooms rearranged. My energy arrived before I did. I don't introduce myself, frequency. You can't manufacture this kind of presence. It comes from years of choosing yourself, from knowing your worth so deeply. It radiates without permission. It leads without announcement. It arrives always before you do. My energy arrived before I did. Mon énergie parle avant moi, and rooms rearrange. My energy arrived before I did. I don't introduce myself, I'm already known, present, radiant, undeniable. I don't need to announce myself. My energy already did. I used to shrink myself to fit into spaces that were never built for a woman like me. I learned the hard way, begging cost more than walking away, and I am done paying that price. I don't negotiate my worth anymore. I don't convince people to see what's obvious. I don't chase love that requires me to be less. I don't perform value, I embody it. The moment I stop begging, the right things stop making me wait. The right people stop making me prove what was already written all over me. I don't beg for what's mine, it finds me. Je ne supplie plus, ce qui est à moi me reconnaît. For what's mine, it finds me. A woman like me doesn't chase, she receives. I've released the people who needed convincing. I've released the rooms that require me to shrink. I've released the version of me that apologized for existing. She served her purpose, now I walk differently. Standards on walls, they're filters. They don't keep love out, they let the right love in. I am not hard to love, I am specific about who gets access, and that specificity is sacred. I don't beg for what's mine, it finds me. Je ne supplie plus, ce qui est à moi me reconnaît. For what's mine, it finds me. A woman like me doesn't chase, she receives. The day I chose myself over the approval was the day everything I actually wanted showed up. Not because I stopped caring, but because I started caring about the right thing. Me first. Always, I don't beg for what's mine, it finds me. Je ne supplie plus, ce qui est en moi me reconnaît. I don't beg for what's mine, it finds me. A woman like me doesn't chase, she receives. Mine recognized, received. I don't beg, I don't chase, I don't convince. I simply know, and knowing is enough. I grew up being taught that abundance was for other people, that I had to work twice as hard for half as much. I unlearned every single word of that story, and abundance came looking for me. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. Opportunities arrive before I finish formulating the desire. The right people show up with exactly what I needed, without me having to orchestrate any of it. I am not surprised by abundance anymore. I am not suspicious of good things arriving. I have normalized receiving, because I finally believed I deserve to. Abundance recognizes me. It knows my name. L'abondance me cherche. I don't chase, I receive. Abundance recognizes me. It's not luck, it's alignment. I am the woman that abundance calls home. My relationship with money has healed. I no longer hold it with fear or desperation. I hold it like a partner, with respect and with ease. And it stays and it grows and it multiplies. Luxury is not a reward I'm working toward. It is an energy I already occupy. The quality of my life reflects the quality of my belief. And my belief has never been higher. Abundance recognizes me. I don't chase, I receive. Abundance recognizes me. It's not luck, it's alignment. I am the woman that abundance calls home. Calls home. Release the scarcity that was handed to you. Release the stories about who gets to have abundance. Release the guilt of receiving more than you were taught to expect. You were built for overflow, not survival. Overflow, let it come, let it stay, let it multiply. You are alive. It knows my name. Abundance me shares. I don't chase, I receive. Nobody gave her permission. Nobody handed her a sign. She simply decided, and the world had no choice but to adjust. She decided she was the woman who received love without earning it, and love arrived. She decided she was the woman money flows toward effortlessly, and money arrived. She decided she was the woman whose time is sacred, and people started honoring it. The decision always came first. The evidence followed, it always does. She didn't wait for proof before choosing the identity. She chose the identity and created the proof. She decided, and the world adjusted, rearranged itself. Elle décidé, and reality reorganized around her. She decided, and the world adjusted, made space for her. The most powerful thing a woman can do is decide. She stopped asking what was realistic. Realistic is a cage built by people who stopped dreaming. She asked what was true to her highest vision, and she chose that every single morning. The decision is not a one-time event. It is a practice, a daily recommitment to the version of yourself that knows, to the woman who walks as if it's already done. She decided, and the world adjusted, rearranged itself. Elle a décidé, and reality reorganized around her. She decided, and the world adjusted, made space for today? If you knew the world would adjust, what identity would you step into this morning? If you knew reality would reorganize around it, the answer to that question is the life waiting for you. Decide. The world is already adjusting. She decided, and the world adjusted, rearranged itself. Elle décidé, and reality reorganized around her. She decided, and the world adjusted, made space for her. The most powerful thing a woman can do is decided, chosen, done. She is the woman who decided. The world is still catching up. I used to measure myself against other women, against timelines, against expectations, until I realized I am not in competition. I am the standard. I don't compare, I define. I don't follow trends, I set them. I don't adjust my worth to the market adjusts to me. I am the woman of the women reference when they talk about who they're becoming. Not because I performed it, but because I lived it every single day. I am the standard, I set the tone. Je suis la référence, I answer to no one's definition. I am the standard, I walk alone into rooms that rearrange themselves around my presence. High value is not a destination I'm moving toward. It is a frequency I already occupy. It is the way I speak to myself in private, the way I show up when no one is watching. I've stopped explaining my standards to people who benefit from me having none. I've stopped softening my expectations to make others comfortable. I am the standard, and the right people recognize it. The wrong ones reveal themselves quickly. I am the standard, I set the tone. Je suis la référence, I answer to no one's definition. I am the standard, I walk alone into rooms that rearrange themselves around my presence. This is not arrogance. This is a woman who finally stopped apologizing for knowing her worth. This is a woman who decided that the standard she sets for herself is the standard life will meet her at, and life always rises to meet a woman who knows. I am the standard, I set the tone. Je suis la référence, I answer to no one's definition. I am the standard, I walk alone into rooms that rearrange themselves around my presence. Standard, reference, undeniable. I don't reach for the bar, I am the bar. There was a moment, I can't pinpoint the exact day, when I stopped being the woman I was and stepped fully into the woman I always knew I was. No gradual transition, a leap. I didn't ease into this version of me. I decided and she appeared. I didn't wait until I felt ready. I chose her and became her simultaneously. The old identity fell away like something that was never real. The new one fit like something I've been wearing my whole life, just without permission before. Now, with full permission, she's all I am. I quantum leaped into her. I chose her completely. Je suis devenue elle. In one moment of decision, I quantum leaped into her. No going back, no slowly. The woman I am now was always who I was becoming. She doesn't shrink, so I don't shrink. She doesn't beg, so I don't beg. She receives with grace, so I receive with grace. She knows her worth, so I know mine intimately. The leap wasn't about being perfect, it was about deciding I was already enough to begin living as her right now. When conditions align up, leaped into her. Hey, I chose her completely. Yes, she's sweet of an in one moment of decision, I quantum leaped into her. No going back, no slowly. The woman I am now was always who I was becoming. You don't need a sign. You don't need the circumstances to change first. You don't need permission from anyone. You just need one moment of decision. One breath where you choose her over the old story. One step into the identity that was waiting. Leap. She's been waiting for you. I quantum leaped into her. I chose her complete. Just sweet devenue elle. In one moment of decision, I quantum leaped into her. No going back, no slowly. The woman I am now was always who I was becoming. Decided, leaped or arrived. She was never out of reach. She was always the next decision. I used to wonder when my time would come. I used to watch other women step into their seasons and wonder if mine was coming. It's here, it arrived. This is it. Everything I planted in the dark is flowering now. Every seed I water with faith and tears is bearing fruit in ways I couldn't have designed. The harvest is more specific than I imagined. I am living inside the vision. I am walking through the doors I used to only visualize. I am having the conversations I once only dreamed of. I am her, the woman I was becoming all along. This is my era, my season, my time, c'est mon heure, and I step into it fully. This is my era, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Life chose me for this moment, and I choose it back. My era is not defined by what I have, it is defined by who I've become to receive it. The peace I carry, the clarity I walk in, the love I've cultivated for myself first. This is not the beginning of my story, but it is the chapter where everything makes sense, where the dots connect and the vision clarifies, and I look back and say it was always leading here. This is my era, my season, my time, c'est mon heure, and I step into it fully. This is my feels like our era is still coming. It is already in motion. You are already in it. The woman you are becoming right now is the woman your future self will thank. This moment, this breath, this decision is part of the era. Step into it. It was always yours. This is my era, my season, my time. C'est mon heure, and I step into it fully. This is my era. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Life chose me for this moment, and I choose it back. Right, chosen home. This is not a destination. This is who I've always been. Welcome to my era.